Hey comrades, welcome to today's video on real estate and the reality of real estate. One the problems with real estate is, first of all, there's no easy liquidity. For example, today you want to sell your house. You've got to first find a buyer. Not only have you got to find a buyer, you've got to find a buyer as soon as possible, and not only that, the price which both of you agree on also should match. Correct. So there's no easy liquidity. So for example, tomorrow I want to sell my house or I want to sell a piece of real estate. It is not very easy to, compared to say a stock or even gold for that matter. It is very easy to find a buyer and to sell it off to that person. Second one is the ticket size is high. That means if I want to buy a piece of land, right, at least a bare minimum, if I'm buying a good quality property, I'll have to shell out anywhere upwards of 1.1 to 2 lakhs, right? Whereas for any other, so for gold, I can buy 1 gram of gold as well, or I can buy like smaller quantities of gold. For stocks, I can buy stocks. I think the most expensive stock in the stock market is MRF, which is close to 80,000 rupees. Correct. So with lower liquidity, as in with lower money, I can still buy the asset. Whereas for real estate, it is very hard to do so. Third one, land mafia involved. So what is this land mafia? So basically all the real estate prices in India, right, is controlled by a small group of people who have vested interest in driving up the price, so that the money they get, the profit they make is much more higher. Not only that, they also these are called land sharks as well. So whereas they also acquire illegal lands and build houses on that, and you cannot be sure that the house you are currently residing in, or an apartment or house you've purchased, is on legal or illegal land, because many houses, especially in cities like Bangalore, are built on lake beds. So whenever it rains or when there's a heavy downpour, all these houses get flooded. So because of the land mafia being involved, and because of a lot of illegal land being made into legal through different means, the problem with real estate is this problem with real estate is very prevalent. Fourth one, no price consensus. That means, for example, if I'm living in a house, right, and a buyer comes to me, I will feel that, okay, fine, my house is worth 2 crore, but the buyer is going to say, hey, no, the house is only worth 1.2 crore in my opinion. So there's no price consensus. But for an asset like gold, the prices are fixed, right? So it is, if I say it's 4,000 rupees per gram, I know that for 1 gram approximately I will get 4,000, in and around 4,000 wherever I go. Whereas for real estate, that cannot be the same cannot be said, because the price consensus, yes, you can say that the market value is this much, but as a seller, I cannot there's no proper guarantee which says that, okay, you need to sell your house at this price itself, wherein it's a fair deal for both the buyer and the seller. Finally, it is immovable. So real estate is very geographically locked. That means you cannot move your real estate wherever you go. For example, if you take gold, right, you can carry it with you up to a certain limit wherever you travel. Or even stocks, you can still you'll still get the dividends out of your stock. You can still own the stock wherever you go. But whereas real estate, if you move to a new country or a new state or a new city, that cannot move along with you. So either you got to sell it, or you've got to give it on the rental market, and that's how you can earn money from it. All of this is actually solved by something called REITs. Okay, what is a real estate investment trust, and how does it solve everything? So let me explain what are REITs. REITs are basically an investment trust wherein people's money is pooled in, and then they go and purchase, or they build real estate, or they build office buildings or whatnot, or even houses and all of that, through the pooled money, through the pooled resources. And then the rental income is distributed according to the ratios of the contribution of the person into the REIT. So for example, if you've contributed 1%, okay, and that is say 1 lakh rupees, correct, and if this real estate gives a turnover of say 10 crores, okay, you will get 1% of this 10 crores regularly. Correct. So first of all, easy liquidity. So first of all, the price is fixed. Right? There is a price consensus because the REIT is listed on the stock exchange. So there is price consensus. correct? So you can be sure that if I'm going to sell, I'm not going to be scammed, or I'm not going to be given a lower value than what it actually is. So right, so this is the first point. Second one is, there is no land mafia involved directly. Yes, some of the REITs are run by land mafia, but overall, if you go to see, you can be assured that the building you're buying is going to be of considerable quality, so that you're not going to be scammed by the people. Third one, the ticket size is low. A REIT ranges anywhere between, in Indian market, from 2000 to up to 10,000 rupees. Correct. So the ticket size is very low. It's almost like a stock. Correct. So that way it is very positive. So that's why it solves the problem of high ticket size. No easy liquidity, that is also solved, because exchange of REITs happens like exchange of stock. So people might want to sell or might want to buy more REITs. So there is higher, comparatively higher liquidity than real estate, I would say. And again, it's movable, so if you can still enjoy the benefits of your REIT whichever part of the world you are, correct. But this is the major point, it's still not very mature in India. There are 3 to 4 REITs, but again, this market is not developed, it's not mature, so it's not very competitive, correct. So as and when the Indian market matures, and as and when the Indian population matures in terms of real estate, you probably might see the emergence of REITs in India. But all is not negative here. Let us talk about a few positives of real estate. The first thing, real estate is a good saving tool. I didn't say investment, saving tool. Why? Because it forces you to save over a long period of time through your EMIs or whatever, correct. Most people buy houses through EMIs in India, so it forces you to save over a long period of time, and you have no choice to back out. The reason why real estate is so attractive to many people, because for compounding to work its magic, it requires time and patience, and real estate forces you to do it. It's one of the inherent features of real estate, correct. It's not an investment tool, it's a good saving tool. Second one is a tangible good. You actually own it, okay, this piece of if you go to the government, if there's any litigation, you know that this piece of land belongs to you. Third one, there is finite land in the planet, correct. This finite land in this world, so you can be assured that as and when the population slowly increases and more people grow rich, right, there's going to be only finite amount of land. So as we have already understood in the assets and liabilities video, due to the supply and demand rule, most probably the cost of your real estate is going to go up, because there's going to be limited supply, but demand is going to increase. Fourth one, so it's a very good generational asset, I would say. You can easily pass it on as to generation after generation. It remains as a good asset in your family. And finally, if you own your own house where you live, so rent is the only recurring cost you've got to pay till you die. But if you own a piece of land, or if you own a house, right, the only recurring cost which you have to pay vanishes away, because you own that property and you own that land, and you don't have to pay anyone rent. So these are a few advantages and disadvantages of real estate. And I've also explained a new product, a financial product called REITs, or real estate investment trust. And hope you gained some value out of this video, and see you in the next video, comrades.